Well, good afternoon, Music City Kings fans from just north of Southaven, Mississippi, home of the Southaven Wolves. Dr. Steve and Heather bringing you Music City Kings basketball. We are actually in one of the eastern suburbs of Memphis called Bartlett, Tennessee. As I mentioned last night during a game I think everybody's willing to forget against Millington, gymnasium space is at a premium these days. Difficult to find middle schools who are willing to open their doors. As COVID starts to subside, that'll get easier as the summer progresses, but as for the time being, we're forced to play wherever will have us. So, Emmanuel Lutheran School here in Bartlett, Tennessee was nice enough to open the gym, and we've got Kings basketball. Kings did play the Millington Showstoppers last night in a game that I'm not sure we need to recap. Millington, suffice it to say, at one point had a 50-point lead. That is 5-0. So having said all of that, we're underway here. 4 12-minute quarters. Music City with a bit of a skeleton crew. I think we're going to have 7 guys when all is said and done. Right now we've got 6. Excuse me. On the floor, Captain Alan Rogers gets it over to Mike Neal. KY, Kylan Holt also on the floor. Mike Neal starts the game tonight like he started last night with a big 3. Michael Booker. I'll mention what name he wants me to call him later on. Booker, and rounding out the 5, I almost got a souvenir there. I was able to punch the ball back into play and save the lovely Miss Heather from the embarrassment of getting nailed by a basketball. Last guy on the floor, Michael Lott. On the bench is Shaq. He is the only substitute. Number 15, Moffitt, puts in the first 2 points for Southaven. I've only got last names for the Wolves. We'll make do with what we've got as always. L.A. Allen Rogers off the left of the rim. Rebound Bryson for Southaven. I want to call them Memphis for some reason. Kicks out to Beans. Beans right back in to Bryson, who gets fouled. Foul on number 21, Michael Booker. Booker with his hands at his side saying, not sure what that was all about. That puts Bryson on the line to complete the 3-point play. I have a pistachio nut lodged in my throat. Those are words you don't often hear in one sentence, but Bryson nails the back end of the 3-point play, and Southaven takes a 5-3 lead. Provided I don't choke to death, we'll bring you the rest of the game. Mike Neal turned around, thought about a quick shot. McKnight was all over him for Southaven. They spin it around to Booker, and Book with a big 3. 2 3-pointers for the Music City Kings, and they take a 6-5 lead. Almost an up and a down there. I don't have number 2's name, but he gets it to Bryson. Bryson, a couple of big steps, lays it up. Dangerous shot, but he got away with it, puts it in. Southaven with a 1-point lead. We're at 10.5 minutes to go in the game. Music City down by 1, 7-6 in favor of the Southaven Wolves. Looked like Bryson got some body on Rogers there, no call. Rogers found a little seam, takes it hard to the hole and puts it in. He may have been knocked around on his journey, but no call. No complaint by Rogers either. I am perhaps mistaken in my assessment, so we will continue on. Bryson, a very active point guard for the Southaven Wolves, lays in another layup. He's got 7 of Southaven's 9 points so far. Music City might need to change their defensive strategy against little number 1. Michael Lott hard to the basket, put his head down and charged. Mike Neal had his hand on it for a second. Southaven was able to grab it away from him, and Bryson throws a 3-pointer long. Outside the arc, spun back around to Bryson, who put it up just short, got 3 bounces before that one went in, and he's in double digits with 10 points. 12-8 in favor of Southaven. 9:24 to go in the first quarter. Music City trying to conserve some energy as they've only got 6 guys. The rumor is that Xavier Ferguson is on his way but wasn't able to make it to the gym before tip-off. Mike Neal just threw an air ball. That went out of bounds. Turnover to Southaven. Substitutions coming in for the Wolves. Xavier Ferguson is in the house as he is changing quickly into his uniform behind the bench. So Music City now has 7 guys. Oh, that looked like he might have walked, but the shot was blocked. Kylan Holt on the block. Here comes Mike Neal on the counterpunch. Dishes it to Rogers and a little give and go. Back to Neal, up and off the rim. Holt went flying through to grab the rebound. His flight took him out of bounds. He crosses the baseline while cradling the ball. Turnover. Back to Southaven. Little Bryson just had that one partially blocked. Michael Booker blocked that one. L.A. was trying to dribble behind his back to get away from the pressure applied by Bryson. In the meantime, that might have been a foul. Did he call a foul on that one? Not sure what he called on that one. All right, well, Rogers has his pass picked off by the fast hands of number 2, who I don't know. Gives it to McKnight, who lays it up and in. Errant pass by Music City leads to 2 quick points for Southaven, and they take a 6-point lead, 14-8. Bounce pass into KY. KY returned the bounce pass off the shin of Mike Neal. Now the Wolves mishandling the ball, picked up by Michael Booker, and a nice reverse layup for Booker. Booker's up to 5 points. Long 3-point attempt. Wow, and McKnight banked that one in. Pretty shot by McKnight. Put it right in the square on the glass. That's where kids are taught to aim. No-look pass to Booker. Booker, another reverse layup. Michael Booker is living up to that Sir Bucks-a-lot or Sir Buck-snort, Sir Buck-cherry, a bucket list. 3-point shot now as the Wolves are showing off. Crum with his first bucket of the game puts the Wolves ahead by 8, 20-12. Rogers goes far side to Holt. KY picks up his dribble. Another errant bounce pass. Mike Neal had that one punched out of his hands and out of bounds off of, well, I guess it was off of Purple as Gray steps out. There we go. Now Purple steps out. Order is restored. KY inbounds it to Shaq. The pass is picked off. Music City been making some ill-advised passes here early in the game, and Southaven is taking advantage. Music City has been prone to those turnovers from time to time. What? Heather said something to me. I don't know what it was. Shaq is in the game, and they go right at him. Oh, block by KY. They're going to call him for the hack. I think that was a good call. Holt got a little bit of arm as he went for that block. Moffitt, number 15 for the Wolves, was going up. Shaq was between him and the basket, and he was about to get a piece of it too. Holt thought he could get away with that block from behind and almost did. Moffitt misses the first of 2. A little gift for the Kings, who are down 20-12 early. Kings throwing the ball around a little bit here. If they can settle down, be a little more patient, a little more accurate with the passing, they'll be right back in this game. Moffitt hits the back end of those 2, and Music City takes over from their baseline. Timeout, Music City. Coach Tony Johnson wants his team to come over and take a little breather. Michael Lott and Xavier Ferguson, the only 2 men on the bench for Music City currently. And from what I understand, this is all of the good guys that are going to be available for the game. A lot of graduations this weekend. A couple of guys had to work. The Planets lined up against the boys in purple. And the troops are trying to hold the fort. Trying to sneak out a win here against Southaven. Knowing full well that once we have a full complement, the Kings are a very difficult team to deal with. All right, KY inbounds the ball to Rogers, sends it into Neal. Neal from the top of the key, puts up a soft shot. That one goes just wide. Rebound, Wolves. Crum gets it on a give and go. That's McKnight who puts it in. Nice ball handling and movement by the Wolves. Music City caught flat-footed a bit there as the Wolves threw some good accurate passes. Let's see if Music City can take a page from their book and return the favor. Rogers is wide. There is a shot clock tonight. Rogers puts it away. Puts it way long, I should say. All the Kings had peeled off to go to the defensive end of the floor, so there was nobody left but gray jerseys to get that rebound. Foul is on Rogers. That's his first foul of the game. Not a shooting foul, but it is the fourth team foul on Music City. I've only got 3 listed, so at some point there was a foul that I missed. Over to Crum. Crum drives the baseline. Looks like Holt got a little too much Crum, and that'll send Crum to the free throw line. It is number 13, so Kylan Holt with his second personal foul. As the scorer's table yells over to Tony Johnson that 13's got 2 on him, making sure the coach stays up to date on the number of fouls with each player. Crum, little short on the first attempt, and again, a gift from the Wolves. Music City has come back from bigger deficits than this, so don't count out the boys in purple yet. Crum hits the second of his 2 and extends the lead to 12. 24-12 in favor of Southaven. We are just a tick under 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, thank you for tuning in to Music City Kings basketball. We bring you all of the action here on the Music City Kings YouTube channel. Subscribe and tell a friend. Turnaround jumper just wide. Again, one and done. One shot and out. Shaq races down, but Crum does a good job protecting the ball and putting it in. Whoa, almost stolen. We have 3 of our guys and 1 of theirs, and they almost ended up with it. Now Neal is in trouble on the floor, and Southaven is going to complete the steal. Just rolls it in. McKnight gets the deuce, and they wanted a foul on Shaq. They did not get the foul. The buzzer was inadvertent. It was for Music City's shot clock. It wasn't reset when Southaven stole the ball, and Music City throws it away. Turnover to the Wolves, who are looking to extend upon their 16-point lead, 28-12. And Music City started off looking good, but they have wilted here in the last 5 minutes or so. Yesterday, Music City won the first quarter against Millington, and the second quarter was an abject disaster. How is it that Southaven is able to get all the rebounds? Now finally it punches out to Rogers. L.A. coast to coast finally gets Music City a bucket. It's been a long time. Buzzer going off again. That is the shot clock buzzer. It is irrelevant. Play will go on. Looks like the shot clock may not have been reset. Well, I believe it was reset. It's on 17 right now. The game clock was running. We're at 4:46. Either way, Southaven will inbound from just in front of our broadcast table. Into a man named Beans. Beans takes a look. Thought he had a pick, didn't. KY stayed all over him. Crum with a long 3 off the rim. Rebound Mike Neal. Neal and Booker almost battled each other for that one. Booker backed away when he saw a purple jersey get it. Wow, Rogers playing with fire. Dangerous dribble behind the back. And a foul on Southaven. They called a blocking foul, I think on number 5. I actually didn't pay attention. I was watching LA's face as he knew he dodged a bullet. All right, Shaq. Into Michael Lott a little long. Shaq with 2 volleyball shots, and Shaq is on the board. That is his first bucket of the game. Shaq not wearing LeBron's number today. He's back to wearing his own number, which is number 5. He was sporting number 23 yesterday. Dockery has Lott bang that out of his hands. He chases it down. 3 seconds on the shot clock, and Shaq with a big block. I don't know how that worked, but number 2, whose name I don't have, somehow got that basket. Boy, I hope we don't have the same level of ball luck we had yesterday. Alley-oop into Shaq. Shaq leaned in, thought he had the foul. Nothing called, but Shaq got the bucket. 30-18. Lead is down to 12. Yeah, it was up to 14 at one point. 3:25 remaining in the first quarter. They're going to call that a goaltend as Bryson once again. Bryson has been pesky for the Southaven Wolves, and goaltending was the call on that shot. Can't pin the ball against the backboard. All right, Rogers through the legs. Thought he had a pick from Shack. Brings it all the way in, and Rogers in the land of the Giants. Able to get that bucket, the lead down to 12. Spun over near side to Dockery. Dockery to Bryson. Bryson to Crum. Crum looked at McKnight, pulled it back, got it to Bryson. Bryson's got Neal out on him. Made a move over to McKnight. That was a deuce. Over the basket, but somehow Dockery was right there to get the rebound and put it back. Music City, when their legs get tired, they have a harder time, as you can imagine, boxing out on the boards. Sometimes they'll cheat down. Michael Lott traveled on that one. Sometimes they'll cheat down on defense, and when the shot is let go, they'll all run to the other end of the floor, leaving maybe one guy to fend off all of the defensive rebounders. Michael Lott is replaced on the floor by Xavier Ferguson, who's seeing his first action. Xavier rolled in a couple minutes late, had to stretch a bit on the floor to prepare for the game. Bryson, long. Looked like Xavier got knocked in the back of the head, out of bounds on Southaven. I almost called him Seahaven. Southaven, inbound, Music City. Ferguson into Rogers, 14-point lead for the Wolves. L.A. brings it across the timeline and meets up with that nameless number 2. Big pick by Shack. L.A. had a little room. Bryson knocked the ball out of L.A.'s hands, picked up by Shack, sent over to Ferguson, who got it back to Rogers. Rogers makes a move. Looked like he might have kicked that one. Either way, it don't matter because the shot clock ran out. Shot clock violation, ergo turnover, Music City. Southaven will inbound the ball from their baseline with 1:48 left to play and a 14-point lead. Music City trying to gather a little bit of energy as they played a hard game in a hot and humid gym last night against Millington. Bryson went left, moved right. Mike Neal got all ball, but I think they're going to call a foul on him. I thought Neal had all ball on that one. I guess not. That'll put Bryson on the line as Music City, the Kings, are over the limit with 5 fouls. First one on Mike Neal. Bryson, probably not the guy you want to foul, puts the first free throw right in the hole. About 1.5 minutes left, and Music City finds themselves on the business end of a 13, now 14-point deficit. Bryson hits both. And even though the game is less than a quarter old, Bryson's already got 14 points. Mike Neal over to Kylan. Holt runs into Bryson. Thought about going in, backs out. Dangerous pass over to Rogers, almost picked off by Southaven. Rogers to Xavier. Ferguson throws a, well, that might have been a pass to Shack, frankly. If you ask Xavier after the game, he'll tell you that was a pass and not an air ball, but either way, he gets an assist. Ferguson to Shack to the bottom of the net. Shot, that was a deuce by Dockery for Southaven, and they get their 2 points right back. We're under a minute to play. Southaven with a 14-point lead. They vacillated between 14 and 12 for most of the last few minutes, and now Mike Neal throws in his second three-pointer of the game. Wow, defensive breakdown for Music City as Dockery is allowed to walk literally right down the middle of the paint and put the ball in. Shack throws it long. Plenty of time left in the quarter. There's 30 seconds. Mike Neal with a big steal and then a three-point attempt. Got his own rebound. It looks like a one-on-one game on the other end of the floor. Neal misses the layup. It's rebounded by Crum. Over to Dockery. Dockery to McKnight, who put in the three. McKnight with 12 on the game. 6 seconds, 5-4 to go. Shack coast to coast lays in the rebound. Shack is up to 8, and that'll do it. Some sloppy and at times confusing play by the Music City Kings as Southaven nestles back to a 14-point lead at the end of the first quarter, 43-29 in favor of Southaven, the Wolves. Wolves with only one penalty. That was on Beans. Music City with 5. We've got 2 on Kylan, 1 on Booker, 1 on Rogers, 1 on Neal. Scoring, Shaq leading the Music City squad with 8 points. Mike Neal with those couple of trays has 6. LA's also got 6, and Michael Booker's got 7. That's it for the scoring. On the other hand, we don't have that many guys on the floor, so I guess we can't spread the scoring out too much. For the Southaven Wolves, Bryson, number 1, is their big scorer with 14. McKnight is right behind him. McKnight wears number 0. He's got 12 points on the afternoon. And we reset the clock to 12 minutes and get ready for another quarter of basketball. Southaven inbounds. Melo, M-E-L-O, to that number 2, who I don't have his name. Bryson tried to pass it over to Moffitt, but it got punched out of bounds by Mike Neal. So Gray inbounds the ball. Kylan got picked, but then worked around it. Good hustle by Holt. Bryson sent that one just long. Rogers snatched it out of the air from the outstretched hand of a Wolf. Bryson got run over. Both L.A. and Bryson wanted a foul on each other. In the meantime, L.A. gets his deuce. Bryson, beautiful bounce pass into Mello, who's going to the line. That's a good foul on Xavier. He stopped that easy layup. We're going to make Mello earn his 2 points, and we'll see what he can do at the free throw line. Lead is down to 12, 43-31. Music City with the only bucket of the second quarter. That was by Alan Rogers. Mello sets himself and takes a centering breath as he is getting in touch with his inner zen. Whatever he did worked because, you know, Southaven's had a couple of those shots where it's hit the rim 3 times and the backboard once and still somehow found its way down the hole. Music City doesn't ever seem to get those kind of bounces. If they do, it's definitely more rare than the opponents. Mello hits them both. Lead is back to 14. Shaq runs down, puts it off the front of the rim, gets his own rebound. Shaq hustling. Backs out of the three-point arc, put that one up short. Xavier had it for a second. Kylan had it for a second and was able to pull it into the moving hands of Bryson, who wasn't able to control it and smacked it out of bounds. Inbounded by Music City. Mike Neal a little long. Shaq with the rebound. No foul is called on that one. Again, it looked like Moffitt might have gotten some arm on that one, and if Music City gets frustrated by anything, it's when they're not getting the calls. Referee is telling Mello to back off a little bit as he was right on top of Kylan. Ref says you got to give him some space. Mello might have been edging over the baseline, which is a no-no. You've got to at least make an invisible wall where the baseline is. All right, Rogers has it up high, gets it to Shaq, who's in the parking lot, and just nailed a big 3. Shaq loves that shot, and he hits it more often than not. I called it yesterday the 700-foot three-pointer and nothing but net. Michael Booker is on the floor in front of us, getting ready to check back into the game. Moffitt spins it around. Who ends up with it? It's that nameless number 2 who puts it off the back of the rim. Rebound by Mello, puts it over the rim. Rebound Shaq. Shaq, dangerous pass behind his back. Rogers was peeling out. Shaq, another long one. This one is short. Off the front of the rim. Rebound by number 2. On the counterpunch transition, Xavier had that one. I think they're going to call a travel. They're calling a foul on the nameless number 2. Shaq comes over, big smile on his face. Music City preparing to inbound from their own baseline. Rogers will get it to Shaq. We'll probably get it back to Rogers. And that he does. We're almost down to 10 minutes to play. Music City trying to cut the lead to single digits. Right now it's 11, 45, 34. Shaq with a good ball fake. All of a sudden found a little space. Got it to Rogers. Nobody was on him. Rogers found himself with a little space. Throws it up. Rogers thought he was fouled. He's now got that sort of evil grimace on his face where he looks like he's smiling, but he is frustrated. Shaq going to battle with Mello, and as I mentioned before, ball luck seems to be favoring the other team every time Music City takes the floor. Shaq and Mello volleyballing that one, and again, it somehow found its way through the cylinder. Michael Lott preparing to come in. Booker throws up a three. That one is just short. Kylan collides with Mello, and they're going to call Kylan with the foul. That's 3 on Holt. KY comes over to the bench, and Michael Lott will replace him. Music City with a tiring game yesterday, and it was run and gun yesterday. Millington was nothing but octane. Mello, long three, threw it right over the basket. They're calling Booker for a foul on that one. I'm not sure if he pushed off. Sort of a strange call there. All right, into Moffitt. Moffitt is fouled by Michael Lott, who continues to stand with his arms in the air, saying, "This is all I was doing." Lott with his first personal foul, and a couple of quick ones on Music City. They've got 3 team fouls this quarter. LA trying to pick that one off. Puts just a little too much on it. He might have been able to run down the loose ball, but lost his footing when he landed on the hardwood. That'll run a few seconds off the shot clock. Bryson thought about it. Rogers was all over him, and now Mike Neal is going to get called for the foul. Michael Neal with 2 personal fouls. That will send the nameless number 2 to the line. 47-34, 8:44 remaining in quarter number 2. Music City, bam, bam, bam. 3 personal fouls on the same Southaven. I don't know why Seahaven is in my mind. On the same Southaven possession. Booker out high with Johnson. Johnson to Bryson, who's picked up by Rogers. Mello looking to pick. Lott comes over, and LA with the big block. Rogers, Neal is fouled hard by, I almost said Dockery, by Johnson. That's the first personal on Johnson for the Wolves. And that'll send Michael Neal to the line. Neal was going down on defense. I think he thought Rogers was going to shoot the free throws, but it's him. Mike Booker reorients him to time and space, sends him over to the line, and here goes Mike Neal, the man they call Little Mike. Neal off the front of the rim, and you can see Music City's fatigue showing. They've hit the front of the rim on several jump shots also. That little extra oomph, Neal now adjusts for it, and he nails it square. 7 points for Mike Neal. We're under 8.5 to play. Southaven with a 12-point lead. Out to number 2. Mello tried to pick Rogers, couldn't do it. Mello's wide open on the 3-point stripe and nails a strike. 15-point lead for Southaven. Xavier Ferguson gets ready to check back into the game. Tony Johnson trying to keep the legs as fresh as possible, and Mike Neal gets himself into double digits. Long 3, big swish, 12-point lead. Under 8 to go. Bryson makes a move to the left. Mike Lott picked him up and blocked the shot. Lott now with the rebound. Nice job by Lott. Rogers just ran into, oh my gosh. Mello's not built like a linebacker, but he's a big dude, and Rogers ran face first into his elbow. L.A. pats him on the back. That was just 2 men going for the ball at the same time. Xavier thought he was in the game for a second. Hustled off the floor, so that wasn't a technical. In the meantime, Southaven is able to get the offensive rebound and kick it back out. Johnson misses long. Big rebound, Mike Lott. Here comes Shaq, far side. Tried to dribble through traffic, and it looks like he picked up the foul. I didn't see who the foul was on. No indication yet. What is it? Heather said she believes it's 15. We'll give it to Moffitt. He is on the floor, and he is one of their big men who would have been guarding against Shaq. So we'll give that one to Moffitt. 7:14 remaining. 12-point lead for the Wolves. Inbound off the back of the heel of Moffitt as Shaq tries to exact his revenge by going after literally the Achilles heel of Moffitt. Shaq moves down the baseline about 15 feet. We're going to do it all over again. That time Mello smacked the ball, almost spiked it right back into the face of Shaq, and Booker says, let me do this. Shaq throws him back onto the floor. He threw it to Michael Lott, who was making a break like a wide receiver. Looked like he was cutting downfield and not watching for the ball. That one goes to the Wolves, and they'll inbound from the far sideline into Bryson, who has that pesky factor. Nice pass underneath to McKnight. Wow. Bryson found McKnight breaking down the baseline. Nobody was on him, and McKnight put in the easy layup. Timeout with under 7 minutes to play. 52-38 in favor of the Wolves. Southaven been in control of the game since early on. Coach Tony Johnson comes over to check my score sheet to count. 10, 15, 18, 20, 36. Well, I've only got 36 points down. They've got 38 on the board. Obviously, I missed something somewhere. So somebody's got 2 points that I haven't recorded, but as I will remind everyone, my scoring is not the official scoring. I'm just doing it to help give a little information and some texture to the broadcasts. Alan Rogers fouled by, boy, you take your pick on that one. Let's see who the ref ends up calling. He's calling that on Mello. That is the first personal foul on Mello, as says my score sheet. That puts Rogers on the line to shoot 2. 6:44 to go. Music City, despite going down quick, has been hovering ever since. It's been a pretty even game since Music City went down between 12 and 14, because that's been what it's been since then. Rogers hits both free throws. A long inbound right in your living room to Bryson. Bryson is picked up by KY. Tony Johnson, more active coaching on the floor than last night. Last night there wasn't much he could do. Bryson, long three, that's well short. Rebound by Mello, gets it to Moffitt. Moffitt can't drain the three. Rebound, L.A. Gets it to Shaq. Shaq behind the back, no look back to L.A. L.A. thought about the shot, pulled it back, thought about it again, and I'm glad he thought twice. Long swisher. And we're under well, let me say that differently. We're at single digits. 9-point lead now. Music City on a mini run. Let's see if we can make a defensive stop and get it even closer. Mello in the paint. Up and over Michael Lott. Lott got held up, reached for the ball and punched at it. That big bear paw unfortunately hit it out of bounds. Lott was going for the ball. I'm not sure if he ran into one of the Wolves or what happened, but all of a sudden he was stopped dead in his tracks. Had to reach for the ball, and out it went. So, Southaven with possession. Kind of a weird-looking bounce pass over to McKnight, who missed wide. That was just a loose ball hustle play. Couldn't control it, though. Kylan on the steal all the way down. KY, believe it or not, that's his first bucket of the game. KY with 2 points. Music City cuts the lead to 7. Bryson taking a look, gets it over to Moffitt. Moffitt over Lott. Lott got a piece of it. Moffitt had to muscle it through, hit the back of the rim. L.A. on the near side, just outside the arc. He and Shaq have been working well together. Finds a wide open Michael Lott, just got it off the rim. Shaq with the rebound. Shaq wanted the foul, put it over the top, but ends up running down the loose ball. Nice hustle play by the big man. Kylan back out to L.A., who's immediately picked up by McKnight. L.A. backs out, plenty of time on the shot clock. Over to KY, under the basket to Lott, who gets it blocked. Nice play by McKnight. Bryson running and gunning to Mello. And as you can imagine, all the breaks going to Southaven. Mello ended up draining that one. The foul call was an appropriate foul call on Kylan. 30-second timeout for the Music Kings. That's 4 on Holt, and we've got a lot of time left in the second quarter. Holt with the foul, and somehow the ball found its way through the hoop. So when we resume play, Southaven will go to the line to try to complete the three-point play. 54-45, 9-point lead by Southaven. Music City clawing back from being down by as much as 15. When they regain possession of the ball, the worst it can be is 10. So Music City trying to run it back. Coach Tony Johnson. Kylan's got 4. Unofficially. Sorry about that. That was in the microphone. Mike Neal came over and asked how many fouls he's got. I've got him with 2. Okay, Mello to the line to try to complete the three-point play. Shaq and Moffitt kind of jockeying for position on the near side of the paint. Those two men are about exactly the same size, same height and same width. Shaq's probably got about 5 or 10 pounds of muscle on him. Mello hits his shot. Mello enters double digits. He is one of 3 Wolves who are in double digits with 4.5 remaining in the second quarter. 55-45 is the game. Mike Neal has that one pushed out of his hands, but Shaq runs it down. Shaq, for a big man, has good endurance and very quick hands and feet. He is fouled going to the basket by number 15. Moffitt's got his second personal foul, and Shaq will go to the line to shoot 2. He and Moffitt seem to be having a good-natured joust as they battle for position under the hoop. Shaq has had some legs today, and he played a lot of minutes last night against Millington, so give Shaq's conditioning a tip of the cap. As I say that, he just threw a free throw that was about 4 inches short of the rim. Again, all of the Music City Kings have to adjust for fatigue. A little extra push is required to get the ball where it's got to go. And like Mike Neal earlier, Shaq does make the adjustment on the second shot and puts it through the hole. 9-point lead. Wolves with the ball. Beans coming down with it. Over to McKnight. Back to Beans. Near side, three-pointer attempt. Beans rims it off the top of the backboard and rebounded by Shaq. Nice little move to get around Dockery. Shaq can't get around Beans. Beans with the steal. That almost looked like an up and a down. Got it to McKnight, who threw an air ball. Kylan was sailing out of bounds, able to rescue that ball and get it back to L.A. Music City looks to cut the lead further. Getting it to 7 would mark the closest they've been since early in the first quarter. This is a big possession for the Kings. Booker just had it almost literally taken out of his hands all the way down to the other side, and a foul. Boy, how the tide turned. That was an unfortunate 5 seconds. Michael Booker with the personal foul. Music City, instead of getting it down to 7, might have it pumped up to 12. The deficit, that is. Moffitt looking to clean up, and he does. Moffitt completes the 3. The Southaven bench is now into the game. They know how big of a deal that exchange was. Mike Neal with a shot from just outside of Jackson, Tennessee. Can't get it in. Alley-oop to McKnight. Michael Lott got a hand on it and would you believe it went right to Southaven. McKnight can't make that shot. Rebound, Lott throws it right to Southaven. Lott was trying to hit Michael Neal breaking on the far sideline, but there were 3 Wolves in between him and Lott. Southaven finds Mello all by himself, and you can see the air going out of the sails of the Kings as all the momentum turned when they stole the ball just about a minute ago. We're at about 2.5. Xavier gets ready to check back into the game. I'm guessing it's going to be for Booker, just given the foul situation. Mike Neal puts it up short. Rebound ends up in the hands of Rogers, and do we get a roll? Heck no. When the ball's rolling around for the other team, it rolls in. When it's rolling around for us, it lands in the other team's hands. Alan Rogers with the foul. That's 2 on number 2. Booker is replaced by Ferguson. Southaven to the line. Dockery to shoot 2. A lot of fouls from Music City as tired legs mean a little more reaching, and reaching can get you in trouble. Dockery shows perhaps a little fatigue on his part as he rims it off the front of the iron. 2:17 remaining. If he makes it, it will match the biggest lead of the afternoon by Southaven, and he does. 15-point lead for Southaven. Dockery has 7 on the afternoon. Music City almost got it down to 7 roughly a minute and 10 seconds ago. Now find themselves on the wrong end of 15. They did it once. Let's see if they can chip away again. Shack to Rogers. Those two providing most of the giddy-up for the Kings. Rogers, nice couple of step move. Missed. Shack with the rebound, missed. And now Dockery. Dockery with almost an unencumbered layup. I think he was deciding between a layup and a slam dunk, and in the meantime lost the ball completely. That got the crowd on their feet. There's a little bit of smack talk going for Mr. Dockery. Neal is fouled hard by Mello. 2 fouls on Mello. Don't believe that's a shooting foul. Well, it might be. Southaven is over the limit. That'll put Mike Neal on the line to shoot 2. Trying to get back to a lucky 13. Music City, they can make a couple defensive stops. They can bring some momentum into the locker room, and that would be an ideal situation. The nameless number 2 checks back into the game for the Wolves as Mello takes a seat. Bryson is on the bench, so this is a good opportunity for the Kings to make a bit of a comeback. Mike Neal hits them both. Nice touch by number 1, and it is down to 13. All the way down and off the hands of Moffitt. 2 straight turnovers for the Wolves. Let's see if Music City can take advantage of the miscues. Shack into Rogers, who almost tucked that ball into the gut of McKnight. He got it to Beans, and Beans gets his first bucket of the ball game. Beans is on the score sheet. 2 points, back up to 15. Rogers to Shack. Shack for 3. Off the iron, rebound Xavier. Xavier puts the ball through the hoop. Looked like Xavier might have been turning away from that play, but he ended up putting it in. That's his first bucket of the ball game. Beans over to that number 2. Xavier on the rebound. Both big men on the floor for the Kings. Xavier to Shack to L.A. L.A. thought about a bounce pass to Xavier. In fact, all 3 big men on the floor for the Kings. I forgot about Michael Lott. Lott is fouled on the play. Foul called on Beans. Mr. Beans. That puts Lott on the line to complete the 3-point play. That's Lott's first bucket of the ball game. Good to see Mike Lott get on the score. There are 3 Michaels out of 7 players for the Kings. Booker, Lott, and Neal. If you're not named Mike, you're a bit of an oddity. All right, Mike Lott puts that one through the hoop, and Music City gets back to within 10. They've taken 5 points off of the Southaven lead. Beans, nice play. Dishes to Dockery, who puts it in over Shack, And with 42 seconds left, Music City has a fresh shot clock and an opportunity to pull a little closer. Another errant pass. Neal trying to get it in to Lott. That one is poked away by Southaven, who throws it away themselves on the their offensive end of the floor. They've had 3 turnovers out of the last 4 or 5 possessions. Music City trying to take advantage and come back. We're down to 20 seconds. There is a bit of a differential on the shot clock, so Music City, the Kings will have to shoot before the end of the quarter. They're trying to give the Wolves as little remaining time as possible when the possession changes one way or the other. LA, same as always, when it's rolling around on the rim for us, it does not go in. And the period ends. So at the end of the first half, Southaven, who jumped out to a lead halfway through the first quarter, and Music City has played them even since then, go to the locker room. Looks like we're only going to have 3 minutes in between periods. So I'm going to shut the stream down quickly, and we will restart for a new file on the second half. 65-53 Southaven Wolves from Bartlett, Tennessee. This is Dr. Steve for Heathers saying thanks for watching and listening. We'll come back in just a couple of minutes.